Hey guys, today I'm going to be teaching you how to draw eyes. So I like to usually start off my eyes with this shape here. It's just sort of an odd looking oval. I usually indent it slightly right where the tear duct is and then just draw a line in between. Then I'll connect them. Just waiting for my video here to catch up with the audio. I definitely outlined the top eye thicker, kind of like eyeliner. This is mostly just a cartoon eye. My realistic eyes are not so good on my drawing thing. Oh, so what you're going to be needing for this tutorial, if you're doing it on paper, will probably be a black brush pen, maybe a few colored brush pens. Brush pens are my favorite medium because you can do them, you can have small strokes and big strokes depending on how much pressure you put on. So, first thing I always do, outline the eye, and then I start with the eyelashes, which, as you're gonna watch, I'm not very good at with my brush pen on my drawing program here. I'm using Procreate. I usually prefer drawing on paper, but I don't have the tools to do it properly with a camera and such. So this is how I'm gonna do it for now. So, yeah, this is a pain in the butt, really. You do each individual lash. When I use brush pen, I usually start out with a lighter gray color for like a shadowy underneath, and then I put some black over top of it, and it just goes a little, it's just a little bit shorter than the gray layer. This is not a good example because I messed up like halfway through. But, so, on this one, we have me trying my darndest to get this right. So, normally, I have better art than this, and I will add a few pictures of it at the end. Sorry, excuse me. This is definitely not good, but if you're going to be using an online program like this, you need to familiarize yourself with the smudge tool, and also try and add some shading in between the line on the eye that you drew and the lashes to make it look like it's more of a natural. It more naturally goes in there. Kind of adding a second layer there didn't work out the first time. It'll work better on my second eye that I'm going to be drawing soon. But yeah, these are the lashes, and I'm going to be just kind of fixing everything here. So right now I'm going to be working on the pupil. I always add the pupil before the iris. If you're going to be using an online program, then you can just add layers when you do the coloring for the iris. But since this is kind of meant to be followed along on paper, I'm not going to be using a layer, which was a terrible choice on my part. Okay, so you always want to use the darkest shade in the eye that you're going to be using for the color, or the outline of the iris. This was a poor decision on my part because the brush pen on Procreate does not act the way a normal brush pen would on paper. It's a lot easier on paper, honestly, because you can see the blue kind of overlapped on the black there. That wouldn't happen with a normal brush pen. At least it wouldn't be that obvious. So this is the outline of the eye. You want to make it somewhat circular. I always have trouble doing that at first. So for the next few minutes, you're going to be seeing me kind of adjusting it. Then we shade at the top, right where I'm adding all of that blue. Put your darkest color there. That's going to be your darkest color. For brush pens, a lot of the times they come with a blurring pen pack. It just comes with a normal, clear-looking pen. Doesn't give off any color, but it blurs the colors together, like a watercolor kind of. That's what I use when I'm drawing on paper, to blur it all together. And in this one, I'm just going to be using a blur tool. You're going to be wanting to use at least 3 different shades of color. You see I switched to a lighter blue there and scribbling it in on the bottom. And then you can switch to a lighter color. It doesn't have to be blue. I added a little bit of purple to it because I like having a little bit of purple in blue eyes. It kind of makes them pop a bit more. So you have that. I think I decided that was too dark, and then I changed it. Yep, I did there. I'm doing it now. So you're gonna blur all of this together, and you never forget the eye shine. The eye shine is the most important part. So for this one, you're just gonna want to blur it. Try and stay in the lines, or it's gonna mess up the circle that you spent so much time doing, and you're gonna mess it up because you were stupid and you didn't use layers. Because on Procreate, layers are my life. That is what I use. So for these eyes, I like to use adding the eye shine. When I'm doing cartoons, I usually do like circular eye shines or oval, and a lot of the times when I'm not, I just put in a little scribble. I use an old brush in this set to make the eye have a little bit of texture. Use the darkest color, or like a purple if you're doing blue. Like, just use a contrasting color to put in that texture right there. When I use a brush pen, I just, use a contrasting color and dab it in different little strokes. I like to shade in the tear duct there. It's usually just like a little half circle that connects to the outside of the eye. Add a little bit of pink and blend it with some gray, and it's usually the right color. I like to blur the edges a little bit on it too, because it kind of gives the eye a bit of texture, like it's a little bit more depth. When I'm using the brush pen, my pupil usually looks natural, but on Procreate it doesn't, so I like to shade in a little bit of lighter gray around on the edge of the pupil to make it have a sort of different vibe. So in these next few minutes, you're just going to be seeing me cleaning up the edges on the black and such. Or, you probably can't even see with the type of stuff I'm doing. It's really stupid looking. But I think I'm about to, I'm adding a little bit of texture on the pupil there. So I just add that, and then I blur it in, and it kind of adds character. I like it. I think the next few minutes are basically just cleanup. We'll see. Yep, clean up. Oh, yep, back to the black, more cleanup. So this is just cleanup. It's standard. You go over a few lines, you gotta clean it up with a little bit of black. Happens to me all the time. This next one basically looks the same as the other one, but it's a little bit more realistic. This is my usual go-to when I'm using the brush pen. I took a lot more time and effort on this one. It's kind of sad. On this one, I actually did use layers because I'm a cheater, I guess. And I added a pupil first here, which makes it look creepy for like half of the thing here. So, yeah, I draw the pupil, which makes it look creepy for like the entire time I don't have the iris drawn. I resizing, moving stuff around, that helps a lot. Just on paper, basically just go closer to the paper. On this one, I like to outline the top portion of the eye too, make it a little darker and thicker. I'm going to be switching to a monoline here. Nope, brush pen still. I always forget. So, brush pen, when you're on Procreate, if you use a lighter stroke, then you're going to get that gray I was talking about. When you use a lighter gray in the background and then you fill in the black underneath. So you see how I'm doing that. And remember, eyelashes do not all go the right way. If you look closely at your eyelashes, you'll see that some of them crisscross, some of them don't go out straight, they're all curved, and they're not perfect, so don't try and make them perfect. I tend to usually give a lot of eyelashes when I'm not doing like cartoon lashes, which are basically just curved triangles on top of your eyes. I do that when I'm lazy, which is pretty much every day, but not today. When I do top lashes, versus bottom lashes, I always try and do a little bit of a indent. This one you can tell that I kind of missed that here, but I'll go back and erase it a little bit. But one of my major struggles is getting the lashes towards the front of the eye, or in this picture it's the left portion, but the bottom and the ones that are closest to the corners of your eyes, near the tear ducts, those are always a little bit scarcer, a little bit more tangly, as you can see with me doing the bottom lashes right there. So try and do my best. Right now I'm erasing the corner of the eye to get that effect I was talking about earlier. When you're drawing thick lashes, I tend to just have the whole thing. My lashes weren't very good here. Let's just leave it at that. I'll probably have a different tutorial for it. Right now I'm outlining the tear duct. I think this is when I finally cave in and open another layer. No, right now I'm being stupid. And then I say, screw it. And you're going to want to move the layer underneath the first layer if you're on Procreate, because it's going to keep it from overlapping any of your lines that you already have. So it's a lot easier to clean up. And then you get to go through the long process of drawing a circular thing. One of the things that I struggle with is drawing the other eye, so you're probably going to see some sort of funny video on here, me trying to draw the eye. So here's the, draw the darker color first, remember? It's sort of, I don't know, if it was a pie chart, it'd be like 60% of the eye is the darker color, and then you add a lighter color. Here's my lighter color. You're just going to scribble it near the bottom of the eye, and then you add the lightest color, which I usually try and make a different shade. I'm going to try and add a little bit of golden stuff to it, because my eye has golden flecks and it's really cool. I like it. But just adding a little bit of gold in there. I'm trying to leave some space to put an eye shine, but I think I just end up giving up and then putting an eye shine in later. At this point, if you zoom out, it looks great. But then you're just smearing all the colors together. And you don't have to be super careful about it because you made a different layer. Or if you're using a brush pen, then you probably don't have to be careful at all. Not really. Way easier, at least in my opinion. So, we finished that, made our blur thing smaller so we can try and clear stuff up, which did not work at all. It's a terrible decision on my part. So then I just got the color I used for the outline, and now I'm re-outlining the eye, cleaning up that outline, because I just like having a very strong outline to an eye. I guess I'm weird that way. And right now I'm drawing in with the darker color for the texture. And you don't have to use just one color when you're adding texture to your iris. You can use a whole bunch of different colors. It's one of my favorite things to do is just take an airbrush and mix a whole bunch of different colors together so it just looks like a kaleidoscope of eye. It's really fun. Let's see, I'm probably gonna, switching layers. And now I'm filling in the tear duct there. We're going to blur that together, add some texture in the next few minutes or something. We're working on it. It's all coming together. Gonna blur the pink together. Looking great. New color? What are we doing now? Oh. Now we're adding the eye shine. As I said, when I try and make it a little bit more realistic, I add the scribbles. Sometimes I like adding scribbles to the other side of the eye. I think I did that in this one. Probably. Yep, I'm doing that. I like adding it to the other side of the eye. I don't know, I think it looks better. Let's see. Great. Oh, yeah, on the bottom and the top, you can add gray lines where you want your the lines for your eye to be, and then I just go over it again. By the way, don't listen to my gray lines because those ones look terrible, but you can just go over it again with the color of skin that you're going to do and it'll look great. It really does. I think I'm coming to the end of my video here. If you liked this video, click like and subscribe, click the little bell icon, and comment down below for more suggestions on videos that you'd like to see in the future from me. Love you guys. See ya. Bye.